I'll never forget when I first hit 1,000 subscribers. I went to the store and I bought one of these. It's called the Iron Gym. It's a pull-up bar, and I did a giveaway on my channel. So I was so excited to hit that 1,000 subscribers. I wanted to give something away which I thought had some value to it. And if you've never seen it before, it's really a pull-up bar that just hangs over your door molding. So there's no screws or anything. It's like this. It could just come right off and then right back on. And when you pull down on this to do a chin-up or a pull-up, this pushes against the molding so you don't fall. And then if you want to take it off, you just push it up and forward and it comes off. And you can also throw it right here on the floor if you wanted to do some close grip push-ups, some neutral grip push-ups. You could do dips on it. And the reason to me it had value and meaning is because I'll never forget, back when I was younger, I was always a fat kid growing up. I was athletic, I always played sports, but I was never a strong kid or anything. And my two older brothers used to tell me they would give me 20 bucks if I could do one pull-up. And we had the old pull-up bar that just went right in between the door. It was just a bar. I think it might have even been screwed into the side of the door. And they told me 20 bucks if I could do one. And 20 bucks was good money for me back then. But I couldn't do one, no matter how hard I tried. I would run down the hallway and try and jump and get my chin over that bar, and I just couldn't do it. So it wasn't that I was upset about that. It was frustrating, but it was also funny at the same time. Like, I felt pathetic that I couldn't do a pull-up or a chin-up, but in reality, it's not something that's easy to do. I get a lot of emails and comments of people asking me, how do I get better at pull-ups? How do I get better at push-ups? And I'm going to be making a video on that soon. But what I will tell you is that I can now do a lot more pull-ups and chin-ups than both of my brothers combined, and one of them has been in the military for 16 years. So it's something that it takes time to get better at these things. You know, everyone's in such a rush because we see what everyone else is doing. This guy's doing weighted pull-ups with 90 pounds. Who cares? Just see where you started and see where you can go. If you suck at pull-ups, then do them and you'll get better at them and keep doing them. So when you're not good at something, you have to keep doing it to get better at it. So when I first bought, oh, I put it on the floor. When I first bought this thing, I would keep it right in a doorway, somewhere where I knew I was going to walk past that doorway often. Maybe it was the bathroom. I'd keep it hanging over the bathroom door. And every time I would walk past that bathroom, I would try and do a couple of chin-ups or a couple of pull-ups. Not going to failure, because once you go to failure, your next set, you're going to be so exhausted. So it's called greasing the groove. I would do 1 or 2 chin-ups, and that's it. Walk away, come back to it when I see it again, do 1 or 2 chin-ups or pull-ups, and every day it just kept going up and up, and I was like, holy shit, I'm doing 3, I'm doing 4, I'm doing 5. And you know, obviously at this point today, I'm able to do, you know, a one-handed chin-up or a weighted pull-up, and it just feels good to look back at where you started and know that you put in the hard work and effort and you got somewhere with it. So if you suck at pull-ups and chin-ups, I'll be making videos on that, but this is not a bad investment to have in your house. So you can practice while you're at home. You don't always have to go to the gym to do them. Again, it says on here, it just says Iron Gym by ProFit. So I actually think they sell these at like Dick's Sporting Goods or anything, but you can probably find it on Amazon for 15 bucks. So that's my little tip today. All right, so we got some sweet potato here. This is around 215 grams worth of sweet potatoes, so anywhere from 40 to 45 grams of carbs. What we're going to do is just cube it up really quick. So we're gonna go ahead and cut it into pieces and then toss it in the microwave for a few minutes to soften it up. And then once it's softened, we're gonna throw it in a pan and try and get a little bit crisped up with some leftover ground chicken that I have, and that's going to be my pre-workout meal today. So now that the sweet potato is cubed up, it definitely looks like a lot more volume. Now we're going to take a paper towel right here, run it under some water, and we're just going to lay that right on top of the sweet potato. Like I said, we're going to microwave them, and by putting the water on top, this will help kind of soften them up a little bit before we go ahead and cook them in a pan. Otherwise, they'll probably take forever in a pan. So right into a microwave, say about 3 to 4 minutes. Just go ahead and test it. After a few minutes, feel if it's soft. If it is, you're good to go. If you take your fork and it goes right through the center like that very easily, it means it's soft enough and we can now throw them in the pan. So out of the microwave, those sweet potatoes are good to go. You can eat them like that, they're cooked. But I like to get them a little bit crispy. So I toss them in a pan on a medium heat and just use some of this cooking spray right here. And we're looking for a golden brown color. So maybe 5 to 8 minutes or so in the pan. But I'm sure by now some of these are probably burnt. But I like it like that, so it's all good. We got the sweet potatoes done, and I have some ground chicken right here that's already cooked. So all we need to do is heat this up. So I'm gonna weigh out a serving of this, toss it in with that until it gets hot, and that's the meal. Very simple. And that's the meal right there. There's some ground chicken, some sweet potato, throw a little olive oil on there, and we're gonna top it all off with this hot and spicy Cajun seasoning. I'm actually pretty excited to eat this. It's been a while since I've had sweet potatoes, so that's all there is. I told you guys earlier, sweet potato chicken, a little bit of olive oil, and some Cajun seasoning. It's right around 5:20, so this will be my pre-workout meal. I'm gonna train in about an hour and a half or so. And I'm actually just finishing up my coaching manual, so I'm really excited for this. I've been putting a lot of time into it. And this is when a client signs up, they get this manual, and it's pretty much like a 20-something page ebook that I put together just to kind of explain my coaching and go over some stuff. So really excited for that. Been putting a lot of time into my behind the scenes stuff, but not gonna work on that anymore now because it's gonna drive me crazy. I just wanna enjoy this meal, catch up on some YouTube videos, and then as soon as Brittany gets here, it'll be gym time. Welcome back everyone, hope you're all doing well, and thank you again for tuning into another video. And in today's voiceover, I wanted to talk a little bit about training styles and different approaches to fitness. And the thing that sparked this idea was when I recently watched a video that Mark Bell and Silent Mike uploaded to their YouTube channel, Super Training TV, where they had a training session with Charles Glass. And for those who don't know who Charles Glass is, he's known as a fitness legend and the trainer of champions. And I had the opportunity to meet him at the Arnold in Ohio last March. Although I didn't get much time to talk to him, it was just an honor to meet him. And he's trained professional athletes, famous celebrities, and probably some of your favorite fitness inspirations and idols as well. And you might have seen him do some videos with Steve Cook on the Swolger Nation channel, but you could just Google him and I'm sure you'll find plenty of information and videos. But in the video with Mark Bell and Silent Mike, Charles Glass showed how to take certain exercises and make them more challenging or target different areas of the muscle. For example, notice how I'm sitting on this hammer strength machine slouched down. If you watch the video, he explains this, and I thought it was cool, and I'm a huge fan of hammer strength machines, so I figured, why not give it a shot? And the reason I bring this up is because it seems like a lot of people are very set in their ways at the gym, and that's fine. If you're doing the same thing over and over, but you're getting results and you enjoy it, you have no reason to change anything. But on the contrary, if you're doing the same thing over and over and expecting results but not seeing any, something should probably change. And I'm one of those people who is willing to try something a bit different. I remember when I first attempted a sumo deadlift, I was telling myself, I don't need to do this, so why should I? But I started to do it and actually fell in love with it. And I don't want to sound as though I'm contradicting myself a lot on this channel, because I often say you could see great results by sticking to the basics. Simple compound exercises, a few accessories, and you're good to go. You could build a complete physique that way. And you always hear people say there's no need to throw in these different exercise variations and it's all BS, but at the same time, it's fun and that's what training should be. And I believe there are some people out there who are just scared to try something new in fear of getting made fun of. They're scared to venture off to the machines because they were told machines don't build muscle or they aren't effective. And then you have some people who are afraid of the free weights. And I recently made a video talking about dumbbells versus barbells, the pros and cons, and people were asking questions like, what about cables and machines? And those are great questions, and I think that calls for another video because I absolutely love cables and machines. The amount of tension you can create in different ways to manipulate how your muscle is hit is great in my opinion. And if you, as the trainee, can achieve progressive overload safely while having fun with your training, then go ahead and incorporate some machines and cables into your training. And the best part about being innovative is not only does it make it fun to try out new things, but if you find yourself maybe in a situation where you're at a gym that doesn't have much equipment or it doesn't have heavy enough dumbbells for you, or you can't get to the gym before 6 p.m. when it gets completely packed, you don't have to sit around and wait for a certain dumbbell or a bench. You could substitute that exercise with something different and still get the same effect. And now I don't want to take back what I just said, but I do completely understand that for competitive athletes, powerlifters, Olympic lifters, and so on, there are certain programs that you have to follow because of the progressions, the strength testing, and the specific lifts.
But if you don't fall into one of those categories, have some fun and try some new things out. Remember, your muscles don't have brains and they don't know how tension is being created. So whether you're using free weights, machines, or cables, or a variation of all three, you could still build muscle and strength effectively. So that is my message for this video. Don't be afraid to use free weights. Don't be afraid to use cables or machines. They are all effective in their own way. But that's going to conclude this commentary, and a quick reminder before I go, the NASM, or the National Academy of Sports Medicine, are always looking for passionate fitness professionals. So if you're looking to become a certified personal trainer and you want to test it out and you're not sure which certification you can go for, you can try this one out for 14 days absolutely free. And the NASM is one that I highly recommend. So there's a link in the description box below that will take you to your free 2-week trial if you're interested. So thanks again for watching, everyone. If you missed the last video, it's playing right there on the screen. You can click it to open it up in a new window. If you want to join my VIP list or apply for online coaching, you could do so by clicking either of those 2 boxes, and don't forget to subscribe before you go if you haven't already. So thanks again, guys, and we'll talk to you all in the next video.